you. So we will be starting with today's lecture. So today's lecture, the objective is to understand the construction of fiber. Okay, so we will just see not in detail how the fiber is fabricated, but what is an overview of the construction of fiber. And then we will compare the fiber optics communication with the other communication system. Okay, so a comparative chart we will see. And then once we finish that, we will understand the basic laws of optics. See, till now in the previous lectures, it was totally theoretical. But once we start with the basic laws of optics, some definitions, some small formulas will be there. So I had messaged the CR that you should be having a separate notebook, because those formulas you will require till the last chapter wherever the numerical is there. So if you don't know the formulas, so you can refer to your notes. Okay, so that's why I asked the CRs to pass a message that a separate notebook, or you can divide the notebook and keep the initial page or some pages dedicated to this subject, because you need to solve and give me the answer. Okay. So the learning outcome of today's lecture will be the students will understand the construction of core and cladding, and you will be able to draw a comparative analysis of fiber communication with other alternate means of communication. And then if time permits, you will learn some basic laws of optics. Okay, so in the next lecture, we will study about all the laws of optics. Okay, and then how do I apply those laws in fiber optics communication system? So that is what we will be having today. So considering the optical fiber, so an optical fiber, or you can just call it as a fiber, it is a glass or plastic. So the fiber is made up of either glass or plastic. Remember, we are comparing it with a transparent medium, that water. Okay, so the two transparent medium that we have is glass or plastic. So we have glass fiber as well as plastic fiber, but commercially the one which is used is glass fiber, because the losses are less in a glass fiber compared to a plastic fiber. Okay, but where the environment is so bad that lots of pressure is there on the fiber. Okay, so that time in those environment we might use plastic fiber. Okay. Light is kept in the core of the optical fiber by total internal reflection. These are two keywords which you have to remember. So once we see the optical fiber, so finally what are we going to do with optical fiber? We are going to transmit light. Okay, so in which part do I transmit the light? So in fiber, we have something called as core, something called as cladding. I will show you in the next slide. So the light propagates only through the core. This is ideally. Okay, practically we will see what happens. Okay, and that gives rise to all the other kinds of losses. So light passes through the core, and what is the phenomena that is used is total internal reflection. So total internal reflection, the concept you have already studied in your school curriculum also in physics. So that total internal reflection of optics is used in your fiber optics. So these are the keywords which help you to solve the MCQ. No need to Google it out during the exam. Okay. So this is the diagram which I took from internet. So in a simpler way, if I want to show you the diagram of fiber optics, so here I have the fiber core. Then outside the fiber core, I have the cladding. Okay, so it can be glass or plastic. And then immediately outside the cladding, I have a plastic jacket. So whenever I talk of the fiber, it is not only remember core and cladding. Okay, there has to be a plastic jacket, because this is all very small. Remember, this both together is the size of your hair, less than the size of your hair. Okay, so it is very brittle. Glass is brittle, but that doesn't make the fiber susceptible to breakage. Okay, so immediately after the cladding, I have to put a plastic jacket. Then later on, however you want to protect the fiber, that diagram also I will be showing. But whenever you are drawing the fiber, the layout, Okay, either the top view or the side view. It has to be the core, the cladding along with the plastic jacket. So I'll show you the diagram which is there in the book to represent the fiber structure. So if I see the end view, so here there is the core. This is the dotted one is the cladding, and this gray area is the jacket. Okay, so I just cannot draw only the core and cladding. I have to show a buffer jacket because that is what will protect the fiber, offer tensile strength at the preliminary level. Now, if I see the side view, okay, so in most of the derivations, the diagram that we will be drawing, we use the side view. So on the side view, so here I have the core over here. Then on both the side, cladding will be there. Remember, it is present like this. So if I'm cutting a portion from here, so यहाँ पे तो अंदर core है, and on both the side of core there is the cladding, and again the jacket is present on both the side, and the fiber axis is over here. Okay, so this is my fiber axis. So I have to draw a fiber axis. So if I say 2a is the diameter, so we usually use small a for representing the radius of the fiber. Okay, so 2a is the diameter of the fiber. So throughout all our syllabus, we will be using a as the radius of the fiber core. Okay, so 2a is the diameter, and since we are using laws of optics, so I have to talk about the refractive index of the core and the cladding. So this relation you have to remember. Why this relation is there, that we will understand later on when we are studying the laws in the next lecture. So suppose the glass core is made up of refractive index N1 and the cladding is made up of refractive index N2. So for total internal reflection to take place, your N2 has to be always less than N1. See, both the core and the cladding, they are made up of, suppose we are constructing the fiber or manufacturing the fiber of glass. Okay, so the basic material is your SiO2. Okay, so SiO2 hai, that is my glass, or you call it as silica, silicon dioxide, whatever you want to call it, SiO2. Okay, so the basic material will remain the same of the core as well as the cladding. Now what I want the glass core to be of refractive index N1, and I want the cladding to be having a refractive index which is slightly less than N1. So what I will do, I will add some dopants. Suppose I add some dopants to SiO2, so that might increase the refractive index. Okay, so I add some dopants to silicon dioxide, so my refractive index increases. Okay, so in that case already मैंने dopant add कर दिया है core में, so my refractive index N1 is more. Then I can have N2 of only SiO2. Okay, or what you can do is I can add dopants over here. Suppose I keep the core of only SiO2, and what I do is in the cladding I add dopant which will decrease the refractive index. Okay, so ऐसा combination भी हम कर सकते हैं. So when we will see the manufacturing of fiber, we will see what are those dopants which increases the refractive index or decreases the refractive index when I mix it with SiO2. But remember one relation, N2 is always less than N1. We don't use NX, NY, anything. N1 is for the core, N2 is for the cladding. Okay, and N1 should be greater than N2 or N2 should be less than N1. So the cross section of a generic fiber structure, it shows a core, a cladding, and a buffer coating. So in most of the diagrams, we will be using this simpler structure. So that is what is about the structure of the fiber. Continuing ahead, I'll show you how the actual fiber looks like. Just see how the fiber looks. ये जो हमने core, cladding और buffer jacket देखा था, वो यहाँ पे है, एक यूनिट में है. Okay, it is present over here in one unit. Then such one unit, okay, this is one strand of fiber. Okay, and remember this one strand of fiber will carry more than thousands of channels. Okay, using multiplexing and all. So this strand of fiber, okay, एक bunch we will make. So that bunch is also of the order 4, 8, 12, 16, 32. Okay, so all those bunch of fibers are collected, and then we might have one unit over here. So that is one unit fiber structure. And then to offer protection to this, okay, this is on one another jacket that we put. And then we have this strengthening wires. Okay, now this strengthening wires, you might see, you might feel that it is a rod kind of thing. It is not rod. Okay, it is actually Kevlar sheet. I'll type the name so that you remember that strengthening wires are nothing but made up of, it is called as Kevlar sheet. Okay, so this Kevlar sheet, how that sheet is looking, I will tell it that in Hindi so that you understand. वो जो सुतली होता है ना, डोरी धागा जैसा सुतली निकलता है ना कपड़े से, so that kind of cloth material. Kevlar sheet is nothing, no metal actually. It's those fibers. Fibers मतलब कपड़े जैसा fiber है. Why? Because see, if I use all these rods and all so many things as it is shown, the weight will increase. And remember, the advantage of fiber optics communication is it is light in weight. Okay, so यहाँ तक तो वो light in weight था, but in the process of offering protection, if I make it heavy, I cannot install it in ships or aircrafts. Okay, so that is what we had seen in applications. We have seen that the fibers have to be light in weight so that I can install it in ship, I can install it in aircraft. Okay, so these are the Kevlar sheets which I am putting. Then this is again some copper sheet, insulation jacket, and then this is the armored protection. Okay, so you can see so many layers of protections. Okay, there are still more layers. Okay, and here we have the rip rods. Okay, here also there are small rods. Okay, but remember, all these rods, they are selected in such a way that the weight is less. So there is no chance that the fiber which is present over here will be damaged. Okay, so and there are many gels also inside so that pressure come hoga. Okay, suppose I just give you an example. You have a chalk. All of you have seen the chalk in class. Suppose I tell you that you hold the chalk in your fist tightly. What will happen? The chalk will break. तुमने इतने जोर से वो chalk को पकड़ा है. Okay, the chalk will break. So same thing applies over here. Fiber है. Fiber के बाद मैंने jacket लगाया. And immediately if I put a tight jacket or a cable itna hai, so that fiber will break. Okay, so what I do is I have to fill up this space. यहाँ पे ऐसा full solid नहीं रहेगा. Okay, I have to keep an empty space because अगर ये jacket बहुत tight हुआ, so what will happen? The fiber itself will break. So we have to take so much care during the manufacturing of fiber. One care is over here when we are actually fabricating the core and the cladding. Okay, no impurities should be there, no dust particles. See, when you will study the losses, you will find out, अरे बाबा इतना कुछ होता है अगर इतना एक particle present हुआ. Okay, एक तो वो hair से भी पतला है, and then something which is still present inside it is causing so much attenuation or dispersion. So much care during the fabrication. And then so much care we have to take when we are offering the series of protection. Okay, so this all makes the fiber little design little bit complicated, and so we require skilled technician. Okay, and also remember, when suppose there is a break in the fiber cable, there is a cut, so I have to cut open all this sheet. Okay, bring out, and I simply cannot pull one strand of fiber. ये सारे बाहर निकल के आएंगे. Okay, so I require skilled technician who can connect the fibers. That is what we are calling it as splicing. Also यहाँ पे it is all shown by white color. This fiber strand, जितने भी हमने यहाँ पे रखे हैं, suppose it is 4, 8, 12, 16, all fiber strands, the outside buffer jacket जो यहाँ पे है, it will be of a different color. Okay, so one will be orange, one white, one green, red, yellow. Okay, so all those different color combinations will be there. So I know I will not join one white wala with one orange wala. It will be totally cross connection. So I will know that I have to join white with a white, orange with an orange. So this buffer jacket, which is present over here, okay, it is all of different colors. This is up to us how many protection you want to offer, because if your environment is very busty, okay, where a lot of pressure falls on the fibers, so then you might have to offer more protection. If suppose your environment is like normal, no much pressure falls on that fiber, then you can go for lesser protection or lesser cabling. Okay, so this is something about how the fiber looks like. You can search up the internet to see more diagrams on the fiber construction. So talking about the core, okay, so here there is one representation. So here is core, this is cladding, and this is the buffer coating. So what is core? If I tell you, define core. So core is a thin glass center of the fiber where light travels. Okay, cladding is the outer optical material surrounding the core. And the buffer coating, it is the plastic coating that protects the fiber. So the core and lower refractive index cladding. Okay, so N2 should be less than N1, are typically made up of high quality silica glass, though they can be made up of plastic as well. Okay, so plastic has more attenuation compared to glass fiber. Okay, so instead of plastic, we go for silica. Now, what is the function of the core and function of the cladding? So for core, we can say that the light propagates along the core of the fiber. It is made up of highly pure silica, SiO2, and it is surrounded by the glass cladding. Talking about cladding, now you might feel if light is propagated only through the core of the fiber, then why I need to fabricate the cladding? Okay, first of all, remember, for the optics, okay, you have seen that light should enter from one medium to another medium. Okay, so based on the angle of incident, the light reflects, refracts, diffracts. Okay, so I require two medium, okay, for the light to propagate. So that is also one reason why I require the cladding. Okay, the second reason, or you can say the first reason, which is mentioned over here, it reduces scattering loss. Now, what is scattering loss? We will study later on, but for the time being, I expect that you people should be writing the keywords, if not now, later on. Okay, so please do some little bit of reading to score well. Okay, so cladding reduces the scattering loss that results from the electric discontinuities at the core surface. It adds mechanical strength to the fiber. Yes. Immediately outside the core, I have something. Okay, so it protects it protects the fiber by offering the mechanical strength. Then it protects the core from absorbing surface contaminants which it could come in contact. Okay, so I have the core over here, and immediately if I don't have, suppose यहाँ पे मेरा core है, and if immediately I don't have the cladding over here, any contaminants which are present, that will directly come with the core, and you will see that एक छोटा सा भी पार्टिकल अगर फाइबर में रह गया, so it will cause so many losses. Okay, so that's why we have the cladding around it. So at the surface, agar by chance some contaminants come in contact with the fiber, so they are with the core, they are with the cladding, so that the core is protected directly from coming in contact with the contaminants. Okay, so this is one of the reason also why we require the cladding. Okay, so four reasons are there why cladding is required. First, the laws of optics won't work. Second, it reduces the scattering loss. It provides mechanical strength, and it protects the fiber from the external contaminants. So these are the four reasons why I require the cladding. Because many times in fiber also we ask, what happens if I remove the cladding? Okay, so then all these reasons are there to justify, okay, ye. Main thing is the laws of optics won't be there if I don't have any two medium of different refractive index. Okay, so laws of optics only will not hold. So total internal reflection ही नहीं होगा. बाद में तो फिर ये losses आएगा. Okay, so the very first reason that you should give is the laws of optics. So all those equations and all we will see later on. So the laws of optics will not hold if I don't have any two medium. Okay, is this clear till now? Anybody has any doubt?
No.
Okay. Now, this is all about the construction that we have. So let us see the transmission media that is present, or you can say an alternative to fiber optics communication. Remember, fiber optics communication came much later compared to the other communication system. So very first thing that came was the twisted wire. Okay, the twisted two pair wire. So it was for point to point communication. So we had the telephone lines. Okay, so communication majorly started worldwide. Okay, and using the telephone lines. Okay, so telephone lines used the twisted pair. It was point to point communication. So the data rates were low. It was having high electromagnetic interference, and it was lossy at radio frequency. As we increase the frequency of operation, the losses were more. Then we had coaxial cable. Again, it was point to point. We still use coaxial cable. We have completely not removed it. So it was used in LANs. The data rates were more compared to the twisted pair cable. So the data rate was few Mbps. The electromagnetic interference was less compared to twisted pair cable, and the losses were moderate. Okay, so here the losses were more, here the losses were moderate. So when I'm talking of the loss over here, so here it is lossy. Moderate loss means coaxial cable compared to twisted pair cable. Then we had the microwave communication. Okay, so it is a point-to-point communication. Now, with the help of microwave communication, we could achieve long distance, but still it was a line of sight communication. Means the transmitter tower and the receiver tower, they should be in the line of sight communication. So even though the distance was more, the repeater spacing was also more, and the losses were less, the only disadvantage is it is a line of sight communication. The bandwidth is quite high, and but since it was using a free space, okay, so the free space losses were more in case of microwave communication. Then the most popular one that came after microwave was satellite communication. See, microwave was also point-to-point communication. All the previous two also was point-to-point communication. But with satellite communication, it was possible for point to multi-point. Okay. So here we have the Earth station. The satellite is there. So we send the signal to the satellite. So we uplink. We send the signal using an uplink frequency, and then there is a downlink frequency. So we download the data, and with one or three satellites, okay, or here one satellite is shown, we can cover the range more, because here it was line of sight. Okay, so for long distance communication compared to microwave, satellite communication was preferred or is preferred. Okay, so it has large bandwidth. I can monitor the data, yes, but there is a large delay. Why there is a delay? Because for sending the data, okay, this uplink side, when I send the data to the satellite, it takes some time. Okay, even though it is fractions of microsecond, but still that delay is there. And then when I downlink the signal, again that delay is there. So remember, when the cricket match and all is being telecasted to you, originally वहाँ पे हो गया है that batsman is out, but when it is telecasted at our end, due to this uplink and downlink thing, there is a delay, and we see it a little later. Okay, so that is why we are calling it as large delay, and it is a mobile environment. Okay, so the towers Okay, the devices and all we can move, but it has moderate life. Okay, so अब तक हमने कोई भी life की बात नहीं की थी, but when it comes to satellite, we always talk in terms of moderate life, because once I launch the satellite, it is there, okay, the space for some years only, maximum 8 to 10 years, इससे ज़्यादा नहीं. So that's why it has moderate life. Okay, so the first two media has very limited bandwidth, that is your twisted pair and coaxial cable. Microwave links and satellite communication has comparable bandwidth. As in principle, the mode of operation is same, but the spatial reach of satellite is far greater. This was line of sight, but satellite can cover the entire globe. So before fiber optics communication came, satellite communication was the only choice for long distance communication. Okay, then came our fiber optics. Okay, so if I want to compare fiber optics with the satellite, it is point to multi-point. Fiber optics is again point to point. Bandwidth is in terms of gigahertz. It is in terms of terahertz. Satellite, once I launch the satellite in space and all, then nothing is in our hand. Whether the satellite is broadcasting the signal or not, I can handle the ground earth station part, but I cannot do anything with the satellite. So that's why it does not require maintenance. But fiber optics, yes, I require maintenance, repair, okay, change of components and all. So fiber optics, it needs maintenance. It has short life, 7 to 8 years. It has long life. I cannot upgrade a satellite. I have to make altogether a new satellite. There is no question of upgradation. In fiber, yes, I can upgrade the fiber. Okay. As you know, the components are getting produced every year, so I can very well upgrade the satellite. Upgrade the fiber cables or all the components. Satellite, it is, I can use it in a mobile environment, in air, in sea. Fiber optics, I have to lay on the ground only. Okay, so this, I cannot say that only satellite is good or only fiber optics is good. Both has their own advantage and disadvantage. Okay, so both are actually complementary role. Okay, but I cannot say that no, I will be using fiber optics, I don't require satellite. Okay, so both will exist. Okay, so the last sentence says that satellite and optical communication will coexist due to their complementary nature. So all these points which I had discussed over here, that was individually. Suppose if a question comes for 10 marks, but suppose if a comparison is asked, so here is a table, so you can prepare this table. So comparison of all the four are there: coaxial, microwave, satellite and optical fiber. So here are the parameters which are there, and this is also sufficient for a 10 marks. So I will not reading all these out. Okay, so you can read it. Okay, so fiber optics, here you can see the complexity of design and all. It is the simplest. Satellite, okay, it requires detailed engineering. Similarly, microwave also requires detailed engineering. Coaxial cable is simpler and straightforward. Simply coaxial cable lao dal do, install karo. Fiber optics, it is simplest. Okay, so capacity wise, then the noise performance, cost, okay, everything is mentioned over here. So you can see repeater spacing and everything. जो भी सारे effects हमने देखे हैं. Okay, so all those four comparisons are there. So you can prepare this from this particular table. Till here, anybody has any doubt? So with this, we finish with almost the introduction of fiber optics. Okay, whatever is required. Now we will be starting with the laws of optics. Some basic definitions are there. I have to take a test also today, which will be covering yesterday's lecture and today's lecture. Till here, anybody has any doubt?
No, ma'am.
So the very first law that we will be studying is the definition of refractive index. Like I started with core and cladding, I said that Suppose core has a refractive index N1, cladding has a refractive index N2. So N1 should be always greater than N2. Now, what is the definition of refractive index? Please write it down because you have to calculate many things, and at the time you don't know. Sometimes you miss out what is the formula of refractive index. So refractive index N is given by C by V. So it is the ratio of the speed of light in vacuum to that in matter. Okay, so C is the speed of light in vacuum. So you know what is that speed of light, C. Okay, and then this is the velocity in the matter. Okay, so refractive index N is C by V. Now, usually the typical value of refractive index for air is 1. Okay, so suppose in the question numerical, if it is mentioned that the air is the second medium or first medium, so at that time you will take N as 1. For water, it is 1.33. For glass silica, it is 1.45. And for diamond, it is 2.42. Okay. Now, what does this values of refractive index indicate? So, if the value of N is more, okay, so I have to conclude that the material is denser. Okay, like here 2.42. So yes, diamond is more denser compared to air. If I have low value of N, it is a less denser material. You might feel, अरे बाबा ये सब तो हमने पढ़ा है school days. Yes, you have studied. Okay, that's why it is said physics is the prerequisite for this particular subject. Okay, so and these values will be given to you. So you have to decide in MCQ exam कि denser है या rarer medium है. Okay, so at that time googling will not help you much because sometimes it directly does not address that problem. Okay, so the first definition that we come across is N, which is equal to C by V. Okay, so please write it down somewhere. Now, yes, what is this that you are seeing? Yes, Satyajit, what is this, the first diagram that you are seeing?
Yes, ma'am.
This is what is the diagram, this one? ये क्या है, क्या दिख रहा है?
Apple, ma'am.
कौन से कलर का है?
Red.
अच्छा, okay, so Satyajit is able to see an apple of red color. Okay, Rameshwar.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are there? Yes, what is the second diagram?
Yes, ma'am.
कौन सा कलर दिख रहा है?
Orange.
Orange, yes. All of you
Orange color.
Orange color. So all of you can see this apple of a red color. अभी तो physically class नहीं है या something. I cannot show you any object. Okay, that's why I have to show an image. But consider that somebody is holding an apple in front of you and asking you, what is this? So you say that it's a red color apple. Similarly, suppose I am holding an orange and showing it to you in class and I'm asking you, what is the color that you see? Okay, colorblind people might not see this of red color. They might see a bit of a different color. So that is some other issue that we are not going to handle that. So then why are you seeing this of red color? Right now it's a presentation. Okay, but suppose I show you a red color apple, but then why do you see it as red? Or
Red
why
light
do you
is
see it
reflected.
as orange? Yes, Joshua?
Red light is reflected.
Red light is reflected. All of you agree? Bhavesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Some names I'm randomly taking. Nishant?
Yes, ma'am.
Why do you see this as orange color?
Ma'am, because it reflects the color.
Okay. See, when white light is usually white in color. So when white light falls on any particular object, okay, part of the light is absorbed by that particular object. Okay. And part of the light is reflected. So here in case of apple, the red light is reflected. In case of this orange, okay, when white light is falling on it, the orange light is reflected. The wavelength of the orange light is reflected and our eyes sees that reflected reflected light. Okay, so this is the concept of reflection that is used. Okay, so I can see the color of the object because of the laws of reflection. So most things that we see thanks to reflection, because most objects don't produce their own visible light. I have taken two such objects, orange and apple. They don't produce their own visible light. Okay, so when external light, it falls on the object, it is part of the light is absorbed and part of it is reflected. The wavelength of the reflected light, it determines the color we see. So when white light hits an apple, for instance, the primarily red wavelengths are reflected and much of it is absorbed. Okay, so this is something which you have already studied, and we started with this reflection only. Okay, next I will cover it in the lecture number 5, that is on Monday. Now, before that, I will take attendance